Joining us right now, as he always does at this time on Fridays when we're lucky, Bret Baier of Fox News, of course, from Special Report. And Bret, before we get into the crazy circus that Washington, D.C. was this week, I want to talk about something much more important. I was so happy to see you tweet out the image of you and your very happy wife, Amy, and your 6-year-old son, Paul, clutching a teddy bear, giving the thumbs up, heading home after his third open-heart surgery. How's everything going with Paul?
Yes, thank you so much. He's doing great. It's hard to believe. You wouldn't even know at home. He's got tremendous energy, and he's feeling great, and we're really blessed. In fact, he's coming to talk to me right now as I'm on the radio.
Good.
Hi, hold on.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, on the radio.
Hi, Paul. How you feeling, buddy?
How you doing? Are you feeling good?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good. All right. Oh, that's so good to hear. We're so happy to hear that.
He's not a conversationalist.
All right.
Oh, all right. Well, and listen, and I know that you're very grateful for everyone over at Children's National. They must be doing amazing work there.
Oh, amazing. I mean, the doctors and nurses, fantastic. Our surgeon, Dr. Richard Jonas, really one of the best, if not the best in the world. And operating on kids' hearts, from the size of a walnut up to Paul's. And, God willing, we're going to go a long time before we have to do anything else again.
Well, when you were in the middle of it, we mentioned it on the air, so you had the thoughts and prayers of a lot of people who listen to this radio station.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And it meant a lot to us because I was checking in on Twitter and I was reading them to Amy. And, when you're in the trenches, it does matter.
Well, speaking of being in the trenches, up on Capitol Hill, we're in the trenches now, and the question that everybody wants to know is, are they going to figure this thing out, or is there going to be a government shutdown?
Brian, I think as crazy as it sounds, we may have a day of government shutdown just because of the back-and-forth ping-pong that we may see. I mean, I don't think, from everything we're getting from our producer up there on Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram.
He's one of the best. Yeah.
One of the best. I don't think Speaker Baier has effectively convinced his caucus that the fight needs to be on the debt ceiling and not the continuing resolution, and that they're ready in the House to give up the defund Obamacare at this moment.
Well, let's just see if I can bring it up to speed. So the Senate will refund Obamacare in the continuing resolution, and this is wonky stuff, but send it back to the House. What's the House going to do with it? As I read it, they're not really clear on what the plan is.
No, I agree. And I had House Majority Whip Kevin McCarthy on last night, and, I just couldn't nail him down on the continuing resolution part. They feel far more certain about the debt ceiling and the battle that they're going to have in a couple weeks about that. I do think that, it's very possible that, we're going to have the Senate vote today, goes back to the House. The House could have some problems, and it may get delayed. Now, let's just hope that all of that irons itself out. You save the battle. Let's say they do that for the debt ceiling. Then you're talking about a president who yesterday said, I will not negotiate on anything, period. And House Republicans who have now a list of things that is huge, what they would like to see included in this deal.
How significant is it that Joe Manchin yesterday, for the senator from West Virginia, let it be known that he would consider the issue of a delay?
Yeah, I think that's significant. I think also significant, Brian, is the potential that Republicans somehow embrace congressional staff and administration officials being exempted, removing that provision.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's something that people can get their head around, like why is everybody else forced to go on the health care exchanges and Congress isn't?
Right. Or if they are in Congress going on those exchanges, the federal taxpayer will be paying for it instead of coming out of the pocket of the employer or the employee, like in the real world. Well, and Bret Baier, that really is the fundamental thing. As much as Washington and the Beltway wants to talk about the strategy and the CR and the debt ceiling and all that, we're 3 days away from Obamacare kicking in, and this is hurting people in the real world. Now, I understand insurance companies having to take people with pre-existing conditions. That's a wonderful thing, and we're going to have the president promoting that and other aspects of this plan. It seems like he's been selling this thing for 3 years, and yet the numbers, the popularity figures show that people don't like this thing now that it's starting to hit home and make their insurance cost more. Is that going to have an effect?
Yeah, I think it will. I think we don't know the full extent of it. I do think there are lots of, as the administration tries to sell what Jay Carney said, a red delicious apple the other day, I do think that there are going to be some bruises on that apple because already we're starting to get more information. Jim Engel has done some amazing reporting on going into the weeds of this deal. And one of the things we reported yesterday was even in the lowest plan on the health exchanges, the bronze plan, which may be a little bit less premium-wise and with subsidies definitively less than some people are paying, but the deductible would be something like $6,000 a year.
Wow.
So just do the math. I mean, if you go to the hospital and you have some procedure, you have some emergency, let's say you tip out at $6,000 or just under $6,000, that's you. That's cash out of your pocket.
Well,
so add $500 a month to whatever you were saving on the premiums. I mean, it's a different equation.
You wonder if somehow Mitch McConnell might not be onto something when he says this thing's going to disintegrate under its own weight.
Well, that's what, the critics of Senator Cruz and Senator Lee say, listen, you're making it more difficult to fight this battle. They're saying you need to stand on principle and not let it go into effect.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
That's the battle we're seeing.
Because people who want it to collapse on its own weight, unfortunately, it's going to collapse on Americans. The real people will feel real pain because of this. Yeah. It'll be fascinating to watch, and Bret Baier, I know that you will cover it like no one else over at Special Report on Fox News every night at 6.
All right, guys, we'll see you.
Thanks, Bret. Have a great weekend, and again, give Paul a hug.